On today's episode of The Framework of Tomorrow, I join my friend Mike on his show, BRCM Daily, and we talk about, are you passionate about your job and how to stay motivated in your workplace or in your profession. I hope you enjoy this episode of The Framework of Tomorrow, and please go check out my friend Mike, BRCM Daily. You can check him out either by searching him wherever you find your podcasts, or go check out rallynetwork.net, and you can find many different podcasters, including him. Enjoy this episode of The Framework of Tomorrow.
Keegan, it is amazing to have you here.
Thank you for having me on BRCM. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's pretty hype. You are replacing Grace forever. We're never having her back. It's you from now on.
Sorry, Grace. I am your new replacement.
She's at Chick-fil-A right now. God bless her. Today we're talking about being passionate about your job.
Yes, I think one of the most important things in your work is being passionate about your work. I think that's a big motivator.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, yeah.
And having a really squeaky chair, I think, is going to get you far in the workplace.
For sure.
Very successful.
I think that's an essential.
Here's another essential. Checking out Ashley Luann K. If you're seeking guidance for achieving a higher education or insight on life as a nurse, check out Ashley Luann K. You can find a link to her channel at rallynetwork.net. Actually, we took that down, so we're going to put that back up.
You took it down?
Yeah, because the website was... We're constantly in a wrestling match, me and the website, rallynetwork.net. So that, yeah, I'm trying to get it to behave constantly.
Behave website.
Please. You don't want to miss out on subscribing. It's awesome. She's awesome. We finally got part 2 getting ready with me for work. It's amazing. She's posting a video today, maybe tomorrow.
Wow.
I don't really know.
Can we promise that?
I can't, dude, because whenever I say that, it's not true. Another thing, if you want to start your own podcast and if you think you can do a better job at podcasting than I am, which you can, that's a guarantee. Click the link in the description of this episode. It's going to bring you to buzzsprout.com, which is the best podcasting website that exists. And if you do it through this link, and only if you do it through this link, you get a $20 Amazon gift card.
It's a lot of money.
It's pretty awesome. And it helps us out because they're giving us a little stuff on the side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's what's going on. Hard work in the workplace. Why does this matter to us? I think we were talking about it on the phone the other day.
Yes, we had a pretty extensive conversation about about just work. What's the word? Work.
Just
ethics,
work ethic, yeah. And people who don't care about their jobs.
Right.
I think a quote from Keegan was people who go, I don't know why it's not working out for me. But, like, they don't put any work in.
Right.
And that's the secret, but it's not a secret, but they think it's a secret being held from them.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to just talk a little bit about what's going on. First of all, there is something to be said about consistency in work. I'd say that's the most basic way to be passionate about your job. And this is my opinion. I have a couple articles which we'll go through. But first of all, because you care about my opinion so much, I'll share it with you. Nobody asked for it, but it's okay.
I asked for it, Mike.
Dude, thank you. Yeah, the first thing is being consistent in your work. It's things like showing up 5 minutes early every day so they can always expect you. And they're like, if something goes wrong, I know he's going to be here at this time.
Right.
Or just a consistent way you do your work. But what do you...
Yeah, I think a consistency is a super important aspect of work ethic, because then if you're being like consistent, even sometimes you go to work and you're like, man, I really don't want to be here. But since you're being consistent, you can get through that dry spell of like, I don't really want to be here sometimes. But since you are there, you can get through that and get to the part where, sometimes you're like, yes, I really love coming to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're setting a standard for yourself the next day when you come in. And there's something about having your own goal in the workplace where it's not your boss's goal, or even worse, your boss's boss's, who's the CEO of the company, their goal.
Right.
You want to achieve your own goals in work, and you have to set them for yourself. No one's going to come up to you. I mean, if someone comes up to you and they're like, this is what you should try and get done, it's not your goal. It's their goal. But they're like telling you to do it.
But here's the thing. If they say that, then you can be like, so here's my goal is to exceed those expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that blankets every job. I mean, I've worked so many different jobs. I've been a cook. I've been a painter. I've worked at radio stations. That's with all of them. If you're setting your own goal, it's like, I want to make the best hamburger ever. You can do it. And it's going to impress people, but it's more about finding fulfillment for yourself in your job. So that's one thing I would like to say. Keegan, when have people in the past... Well, what jobs have you had, first of all? Is there a summary of...
Yeah, I've also had many different kinds of jobs. I've worked construction. I've worked at a grocery store. I've worked at selling or renting bikes to people.
I didn't even know you did that.
That's when I lived in Duluth. It was actually on like the boardwalk in Duluth, and you'd rent like the bikes. Yeah.
That's cool. There has to be some stories with that.
Oh, there's so many stories.
Is there a top story that comes to mind that's appropriate for...
Ooh, at the bike. Okay, I had this one lady. This is probably the biggest one that just blew me and my coworker away. It was so funny. We rented this lady a bike, and she had 2 kids, and she was... If I had a way to explain a city girl, she was that.
Okay.
And she had like her nails were like super long. I don't want to like classify as like that's when you're a city girl. I don't want to hate on people, but
she had the nail extensions happening. Yeah.
She was all
which we're doing in tomorrow's episode, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you and I are gonna do nail extensions, right?
Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah, so we rented this bike to her, and her like kids get in the back. They put their little helmets on.
Yeah.
And this is like a 4-person bike, so it has like 2. It's like benches, basically 2 benches. It's like 4 wheels, and we sell her this bike, and we tell her like, okay, this is where you can go. This is the route, and then she looked at us, and she's like, wait, I have to pedal this?
Are you serious?
Seriously, she bought the whole thing and everything, and she's like, wait, I thought we were paying for you guys to bike us around.
Oh, so a carriage
yeah
deal. That's what she thought was going on,
right? But they're like everywhere, like there's people going around everywhere because we're just constantly busy, and like obviously we're not on that,
right?
And we have like we all have like the same shirts or whatever, but it was just hilarious because we're like, there's some other crazy stories, but I can't think of them.
Did she freak out or something? Or she's just like, well, I gotta figure this out then?
Yeah, that's kind of how she was. And she kind of struggled. We gave her a little push to get going, and then they were fine, but it was kind of funny.
Well, they're built to have like one person powering them and like a bunch of
it's hard.
Right?
Is
it?
If you're not like in shape, it can be tough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it was probably hard for her. Not that I'm saying she wasn't in shape, but yeah.
All right. Okay. So you've had a lot of titles.
Yes, I have.
What are how have coworkers around you influenced your job?
So I would say with construction, it was pretty easy to stay motivated because everyone, well, I guess it was just me and my, he was a good family friend, and we'd have like other people come in like plumbers and stuff on work sites, but it was super easy to stay motivated because we were both kind of like feeding off each other's like motivation for work.
Sure.
And it was just someone to talk to, and it was really good. But I've also had, when I worked at a grocery store, I'd work like the night shift, and there were some pretty non-motivated people there, and they were like, oh, I hate coming to work. Yeah. It's the worst thing ever. And that kind of rubs off on you.
Yeah, it's horrible, yeah.
Because it kind of just dampens your mood. But so I kind of had to just hang around other coworkers that weren't being like, this sucks, I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't have that choice and you have to kind of work with them.
Right. The boss is like, you all are doing this.
Right. I would tend to hang around the bosses because they'd be more like joking around and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it definitely influences your mood, but it's important to, still be committed.
Mm-hmm. You and I were actually coworkers for some period of time, like 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, technically we're still coworkers because I haven't
that's
officially left working. I'm just not working now because of coronavirus.
Keegan had a couple shifts, and then all of a sudden he was bringing his VR in, and we were eating enchiladas.
It was a good time.
It was amazing. We're also working together like way more directly though next year. At the Remnant, the best radio station in the Twin Cities. Also the top listened to radio station ever in any country.
For sure.
Z100 can get out of our way because it's the Remnant.
Yeah, and now we're working with Rally Network because I have my own podcast on there.
So you and I are going to hate each other by the time 2021 comes around. Oh, okay. We'll figure out our problems.
Yeah.
Okay. If we have 3 jobs together, dude, we might as well just move in together. That's so much work.
Let's do it.
Wow. Next year's going to be whack. That's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And the longboarding club. Woo. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Shout out to President Ben.
Ben Eiley. Yep.
We love you. I guess it's time to dive into these articles. And we'll talk about what's going on here. This first one is the 4hourworkday.com. What is that about? I don't really.
4-hour workday.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We start out. This is about the benefits of hard work. So Keegan and I want to get you motivated, hyped.
Yes, very motivated. Even if you're not working right now, you can
Yes.
still have work ethic.
Well, go find something to do. Go build that thing you wanted to build.
Yeah.
Go get your nail extensions.
Right.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Start a nail extension company, produce them, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
We've been talking about them a lot in this episode, so I think we have to go down that path.
I think we do.
Yeah, selling and producing them.
I agree.
So this first one is hard work gives you an advantage. I don't know, that's a little too vague for me, so we're just going to move on without even... We'll just pretend that one didn't happen. Hard work is a confidence builder. Is this true? True or false?
Hard work is a confidence builder? Like physically hard work? Like you have a hard task you have to
I would say any hard work, but physical work.
Confidence builder. I would say yes because by completing that task you're like I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like whenever another hard task comes along you're like, well, I did that, I can do this.
Yeah.
There's
nothing better than I've been on a couple work trips with my church. And it's just like, I like them because normal trips with church, the typical, it's like, we were by the beach connecting with God. And it's like, we all read our Bibles and then went swimming and then went in $1 million sauna.
Right.
It's like, you really changed the world with your trip, didn't you?
Yeah.
But this particular one, it was literally just an agreement that we would build stuff and like labor like crazy and they would feed us and let us stay at this camp. So we were building cabins and stuff and the guy just needed more cabins and we were like, we'll do it for free if you feed us.
There you go.
And if we can swim in your lake and stuff like that. And it was the best because we would get up, they would wake us up at 7 and they would be obnoxious and everything.
Yeah.
And we would work until 6.
Oh, wow.
Or 7. And we would take a lunch break.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like, we would be at work at 7:30. We'd work until 6 or 7. They would feed us, and we would eat, like, wild animals. And those nights were the best because we worked so hard, and I couldn't feel my arms. But it was amazing.
Yeah, I've done one of those before, and they're so much fun. They woke us up with, it was like a remix of, like, the or the Seven Dwarfs song.
Hi-ho.
Yep. Over because
remix though.
Yeah,
come on.
we stayed in the school in a school, so there was like 300 of us. It was crazy, and they would blast it over the intercom at 7 a.m.
That's amazing.
We woke up like that all 7 days we were there. It was amazing. But
it's a horrible feeling when you hear the song starting. Ours was do you know that good morning. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
You hate when it starts, but it's nice being awake right away in the
Right.
morning.
Because it wakes you up.
Yeah.
You're not like, I mean, you are
You're
kind of.
groggy,
Yeah.
but you're alert more.
Right.
So-
Because it just woke you up out of your beauty sleep.
Mhm. But like really, really relaxing. I just said really in slow motion. Did you hear that?
I
was
did.
Like, really?
Really?
You can really relax after you've worked that hard. But you have to like kill yourself first, and then you're
Right.
able to just let it all go. You can swim, you can do whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I would say there's a part of that like actual relaxation
Mm-hmm.
that is because of confidence.
Right.
You don't care what anyone thinks of you, and you're really white body suntanning out on the beach.
And yeah, I don't know about you, but because of like this quarantine and stuff, and not working as much, I kind of took, I don't know, for granted some of my like leisurely activities, like playing video games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like now I'm just kind of like bored. But like
Right.
if I was like working super hard, like the whole day and just grinding, getting that work done,
Mhm.
and then like at night I'd be like, yes, time to relax, play some video games.
And it's awesome, and it feels awesome.
Right, yeah.
You're screaming at the TV.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I went to literally a week before quarantine.
Mhm.
So a week before spring break, and then it all happened while we were on spring break.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought an Atari from Goodwill,
Yes.
and I was like, my girlfriend and I played it, and we were going insane. It was like so fun for us.
yeah.
I would never touch that thing right now because I only do things out of like boredom.
Right.
And that's not going to do it for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it is a confidence builder, hard work. And you and I just moved into a different point that it leads to rest, which you can't find from being bored and watching Tiger King for the third time in a row.
Have you actually?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
But I
okay.
want to so bad. I'm holding back.
Let's watch it together.
Okay. Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one. I guess we'll go with this true or false thing.
Ooh.
I don't know why we started.
True or false?
Yeah. Hard work allows you to experience gratitude. You literally just said this,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. True. Yes,
Okay.
it does.
We don't even have to. Yeah. Okay. Hard work leads to self-improvement. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that.
I think more mindless work, ironically, makes you self-analyze. So, like, when you're doing mindless work, it makes you think the deepest,
That's true.
which is so backwards. But
yeah.
if when I worked at Chick-fil-A, one person does dishes, and I thought that was interesting how they do that. So
Oh.
you do dishes for like 2.5 hours at the end of the night,
Oh my gosh.
and you start to like, you're in this dark corner of the kitchen. But it's just mindless, wiping things.
Right. And you just think the whole time, right?
You think the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because nothing gets you in that zone like mindless work.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
And then here's the last one. Oh, hard work is motivating.
Mm.
I think that's true.
Yeah. I think we kind of already covered that one a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hard work is definitely motivating because, like I said before, once you do something hard and you finish it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing.
Right. Achieving your goals.
I can go do this now. Harder thing to do.
Or moving, just like seeing yourself get closer to
Right.
a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all a brain game. It's good for your brain.
Mm.
I think that's pretty cool. We don't do any physical labor, by the way, everyone who's listening. Keegan and I sit in chairs. They're
Oh, yeah.
padded.
Yep.
They have padded armrests. That's how horrible it is. And we talk into microphones that are padded.
Mm-hmm.
And
Although I used to do physical labor a lot with
Yeah.
construction and working at a grocery store.
there has to be a way to integrate physical labor with jobs that aren't physical. But I don't know how that would. It's probably just you exercise after work.
Yeah.
Or before work.
I guess. That. Yeah, probably.
There's a man who works at KTIS, the number 2 station in the Twin Cities.
Mhm.
His name is Andy Uso.
Oh, yes.
If you're listening, you probably know who this is. He's the evenings host.
Mm-hmm. I met him.
He does not. You have? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Did you get his autograph?
No.
Yeah, Keegan and I, quote unquote, work side by side with him, but we don't.
We're like right on the other side of the glass.
Yeah, we work for different companies and we do completely different things.
Yeah.
But it's in the same building. He does not sit during his work.
No.
And he has an office in the back. And there's no chair in there.
Yeah, that's his office.
Yeah, the stand-up one.
Yep.
So I see people use it a lot because I think they like his setup.
Mm.
So if he's not in there, I think people are just using it all the time.
Right.
Not now, obviously, but there's no chair in there. Everything is standing height, and then he doesn't sit down. So he's like running in circles, taking calls, and I think that's funny.
That's amazing.
It's got to be so good for him, though, at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure.
He must feel amazing.
Yeah.
So another thing that can be said about hard work is sleep. You sleep like a baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
For sure.
I sleep so horribly lately.
Yeah, because I haven't been doing anything.
Exactly. I know. I think we're teaching ourselves, like we're revealing to ourselves. We're
Yeah.
not, if you're listening, we're not talking to you anymore.
No.
We're talking to ourselves.
Deep thoughts
Mm-hmm.
with Mike and Keegan.
We're changing the name.
Yeah.
We have to work harder, dude. What's going on?
We do, yeah.
This is cringe.
Let's go move a whole entire house. I don't know.
Just 2x4 by 2x4.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Stud by stud.
If Keegan and I aren't posting on the Rally Instagram every day of us getting gains,
Yeah.
1 star us on Apple Podcasts. Both
Please,
of us.
please
Framework
do.
of Tomorrow, give him 1 star. Write in the thing, you suck.
Yep.
That's all and we'll know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Not our content, but
Not our content, but our life.
but also our content.
Yeah.
Okay. So Michael, Keegan, I don't know. I hate my job. There's no good quality about my job. Why are you telling me to enjoy it? I literally, if you did blank like I do, you would hate it too. Okay, that's valid. I have an article for you. Articles will solve your problems.
Yes.
Just a couple things that I agree with. So I'm going to skim this more. And the first one is work with your supervisor to set goals. But you and I took this a step further. And it's like, keep your supervisor out of it.
Yeah.
Set your own goals for you. You don't have to talk to them and be like, so, sir, I'm thinking of doing this. It's like, no.
And if you don't like your job, find ways to like either motivate yourself to do your job, or I don't know, if you like you drive your pizza delivery, say that. And I mean, I know people who love doing pizza delivery, but I also know people who hate doing pizza delivery.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I really hate this job. I'm not making enough. I don't enjoy my job. There's 2 things you can do, I think, in my opinion, is you can either A, set goals for yourself and enjoy your job through achieving those goals, or B, start looking for somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you don't like where you are, you can go and find somewhere else.
And we got to realize how lucky we are to be in the U.S.
Yeah.
People listening might not be in the U.S. right now.
Right.
That's not always an option.
Mm-hmm.
And then just right now in history, there's so many jobs.
That's true.
I've talked to my bosses in the past, and they're like, I cannot find a worker. I cannot find work.
Right.
Like, everyone has a job, so that's just how it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Employers want you to work for them. So that is something we're lucky to do. But also, if you can't get out of your job, or if you don't want to do that yet, you can set your own goals and make it like your own job. This one's along the same lines. Make a list of things you want to improve. That's the same thing for all I'm
If you can deliver pizzas in 5 minutes, I want you to deliver pizzas in 3. Don't break the law, though.
They have to. Don't break the law.
Don't break the law. Just kidding.
But speed if you have to. That's what Keegan's saying. The cops are busy. They have other things to do right now. Just a tip off. I'm just telling you.
Write fun messages in the pizza boxes to the people.
I got here in 30 seconds, and you lived 4 miles away. Figure out what you really love to do. Keegan just said that he has more wisdom than thebalancecareers.com. Still, I suggest you check them out, but Keegan.com is a lot more wisdom than
Keegan.com.
Rallynetwork.net.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of these are kind of like if you want to jump ship and start your own company. I mean, that's another thing to think about. If you're really good at something and the one thing that's holding you back in the workplace is your boss, you gotta move on. If you can do everything that your boss can do anyways, you're like responsible for starting your own business. So yeah, my dad is at the level in being an electrician that he could become like the top level electrician.
The master electrician.
It's a master electrician, yeah. He could take classes to do that.
Oh, wow.
But his job has enough freedom. He can set his own goals. He can work to his own standards, and there's no reason to, you know?
Right.
But if it was like this box that was like constantly closing and getting smaller, it would be a good idea to jump ship. I think anyone would agree with that.
Yeah.
Stay present. That's a good one. People get really freaked out. They're like, it's Monday. I work every day this week. I got 5 days to go.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it's not every day. You are right now, this moment for you and I, it's 5:35 p.m. It is not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at the same time.
Yeah.
Time doesn't work like that.
No.
So we can live like it's Wednesday today.
Yeah. Live in the moment, man.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Invest all your money in Bitcoin. That's all I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good idea.
It's an amazing idea.
Yes. And then, this is the last good one on this list. Make a gratitude list. Now, I would say that's kind of corny. Don't sit down and write a list, but just think what is good about my job if you're hating it.
True.
There has to be good things about it. There has to be, man.
There has to be.
Okay. Well, what are our conclusions? What did we learn today?
What did
Just
we learn today?
passion for work, I think, is so important in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, passion for work, motivation for work is extremely important.
Mm-hmm. And it will make you like successful to some extent.
Right. Yeah. Try to be more successful. Try to go up in the ranks.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorite example of this would be Joseph in the Bible. He literally was nothing in the eyes of his culture at the time.
Yeah.
He was a servant. He did not own his life in a literal sense.
Yeah.
He did not own his workplace, but he became basically like the president of Egypt.
Even though he was forced to do his work, he still did it like
to a higher extent.
And that's why they got him up to such a high position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great example.
So anyone can like adopt that on themselves.
Right.
And you'll find success. I mean, that's obviously the archetype of that story. You're not going to be president of the US.
Yeah.
If you're really good at making hamburgers at McDonald's, you probably could open your own restaurant or go to a higher end hamburger restaurant, you know?
Right.
And then you're working up, your salary's going up, you're probably getting more freedom in your new jobs. Everything is better, and it's because you had passion for your job. Another one, if we're talking about like people's like private endeavor, or private endeavors is not the right word
Like
for whatever I'm about to say.
Personal life or
No. That's what I'm making it sound like with private endeavors. I'm trying to say their own like business.
Okay.
Your own personal business.
Okay.
Is staying in the game longer than you want to is another big thing. People want to like see success in 6 months ish or 3 months. And if you go on YouTube, everyone's going to tell you, if you're not seeing numbers in 6 months, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You got to change everything. It's like, no.
Mm-mm.
There is something to sticking around. Customers love it. I mean, people love it in general. If you can say you've been around for 3 years instead of 3 weeks.
I think the average small business that starts, it takes about 3 years for them to start making profit.
Yeah, everyone I know who's started a business, it's been at least 3 years. I don't know anyone who's made a profit in less than 3 years.
Neither have I, yeah.
Even a food truck owner that I know, it took him 3 years to get to his money back.
Wow.
You have to be, first of all, if you're going to start that, you have to be ready for that. But if you're starting it, you just got to stick around for longer, and you'll probably see success.
Mm-hmm.
So,
got to push through the hard times.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what's going on. We want you to be passionate. You're going to be a lot happier. I think you and I are just saying this because we love our jobs.
We do, yeah.
Like, we are lucky.
We are extremely lucky, extremely fortunate.
Because you and I have, like, all the same jobs right now.
Yeah.
And we're passionate about all of them. But it's really rewarding to be passionate on top of loving them.
Yeah. Oh, I think another example of, like, motivation with coworkers is Mike and I will call each other. We probably call each other on a daily basis at this
We're
point.
the gossipgirls.net/BRCM. That's
Yeah.
the website you go to. And it's us going, you should have heard what were you saying?
No, I was saying we look motivate each other, I feel like, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with our network, when we have meetings or whatever, I walk away from that meeting and I'm like, I want to make 50 million podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to do this. Like, it's just so motivating. And that comes from my coworkers. Yeah.
Yeah. Podcasts are awesome.
They are.
If you want to start a podcast, we have a network, rallynetwork.net. I suggest you check it out. We are taking people all the time. But since we're so fresh, we're especially taking people right now at the beginning. We are offering CPM, a couple things like that, and CPA ads. Those are the two things I ran at the beginning. The two ads I ran were with the network. And if you join, you would be running those two, and you would be making the money that I'm making. Couple podcasts, though, if you're not all hardcore wanting to make one, you just want to tune in. We have some highlights. Framework of Tomorrow is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to sell it for a second?
Yes. So my podcast is The Framework of Tomorrow. Go check me out on wherever you find your podcasts.
Including Deezer.
Including Deezer. But the easiest way to do that is to go to rallynetwork.net.
Yeah.
And my podcast is about, I use the framework of history to evaluate the world of tomorrow. It's pretty just as simple as that. And you should come listen. And
it's a good time.
Here's some good insight. My most recent episode was about mental state of the decade, where I talked about mental health, the history of that, and then kind of where we're at today and what we're going to do about it tomorrow.
So if you want to hear the voice of Keegan for 30 minutes, go to that.
Yes.
Without interruptions of my scratchy voice. There's plenty of awesome shows on there, though. I would suggest check them out, rallynetwork.net. My last request, would you rate my podcast on Apple? That would help me out so much, and I would appreciate it a lot, and I will rate your podcast if you have one.
Yes.
So we will rate for it. Okay. Thank you for listening. God bless.
God bless.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Rally Podcasting Network. Your favorite podcast rallied into one place.